Kyle here with Blooming Earth Studios, bringing you another tutorial. Today we're going to go ahead and look at modeling in Maya. So let's go ahead and open up Maya. And today this is going to be a introduction to modeling. We're not going to create anything in particular, but we're going to go over the tools that you'll be commonly using when you're doing your 3D modeling. So let's begin. So I'm going to go ahead and start off just by leaving this in our 4 views, or graphic view. And I'm going to go ahead and just let's start off with looking at how we're going to be doing this. First off, we want to be in polygons. You can sometimes use surfaces that will be for NURBS modeling, but we want to be in polygons for what we're going to be doing today. And if you come up here, you'll see that we've got various menus all related to modeling. What I typically like to do is I like to come over to Edit Mesh, and I come down and I will click on the double bars right at the top. This allows me to bring out this complete toolbar, and I'll set off to the side because we're going to be using a lot of these tools when we're actually modeling. A lot of the other ones we'll use later on, but these are the most important ones. So let's go ahead and look at what we want to create. Just to double check, let's double click on our select tool. This will open up our tool settings, and it's always a great idea to, especially when you're starting off, reset the tool. We'll get back to its default positions, and we want to make sure that we do not have soft select on. We want to make sure that it is off. Otherwise, you're going to be running into a lot of pain while you're modeling. You're just going to hate yourself. So with that looking good, we can close that. And why don't we go ahead and start off with going to coming to polygon primitives and going to cube. We're going to start off doing a style of modeling called box modeling. Essentially, we just start off with a box and push and pull its polygons into the shape that we're eventually going to want. So looking at the top view, I'm going to drag my base to a nice little square, and then I can pull this up to create a cube. Now we can't see much at the moment. I'm going to leave these blank, but so I can see what the object is. I'm going to go ahead and press, whoops, did not mean to do that. I'm going to press 5. This is going to shade our layer. If you don't want to have it shaded, you can always press 4. It will take it back to its wireframe. I'm going to leave it on 5. If you do 3, it will give you a smooth preview. 1 will also give you your regular view. And I can't really honestly remember what 2 does, but I'm just going to leave it on 1. So we're going to just look at it right there. And so there we have a pretty basic cube. And as I had shown in a previous tutorial, if you come over to the inputs in the channel box in the layer editor, if you click on the actual shape itself in the input, get these subdivision options as well as the width, height, and depth. So just for the sake of things, I'm going to shift select all of these and bring it up to 2 on all of these. So we got a nice little cube here. So let's look at some of the basics. I'm going to hold down right click, and when we're right clicking, we have the ability to select various different parts of our model. The edge allows us to select the edge of all the edges and lines between each vertice. If If you select it, if you shift select and double click, you can fully get a wraparound. You can complete the entire continuous line. Very useful later on. Vertex is the individual point where everything meets up. I never ever use vertex face. I have yet to find a reason to ever select it. Then the face is another very useful tool where we can select the actual polygon itself, and if we want we can push and pull it. I'm using W right now in order to select the move tool. Undo that with Z. But no, let's go ahead and stay on face right now. So the first option that we've got up here is extrude. This essentially, when you press this, will create another face that you can then pull out. Or conversely, you can push it in. But for the sake of this right now, let's just pull it out. And just to show you what you can do, you can then rotate that, bring it up, bring it down, whatever you want. And let's go ahead and scale it using R. And E is how you rotate, just a reminder. For the most part, you're going to be using W, E, and R quite a bit when you're modeling. So, yeah. So let's say I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come over here, extrude a little bit, and I'm going to come over here and actually I'm going to extrude that again. Again, come over here and extrude this. And now I'm going to come up to another very often used tool, the Insert Edge Loop tool. This, when you select it, will allow you to create new polygon divisions in a continuous circle, or a continuous path around your object. And this is very useful because we want to keep everything in quads. You never want any n-gons, which are polygons that have more than 4 sides. And triangles are okay if you're doing game design, but even then you don't want to actually design with the triangles in mind. You'll just design in quads and create triangles when you finish. So you can get the hang of this here. If you want to deselect the tool you're in, especially with the Insert Edge Loop tool, because sometimes you don't want to continue using it, you can press Q, and that will delete your what you're currently using, go back to the default selection. But let's say you want to do it again, you can press G, and this will select your last used tool, and now we can come in here and add another edge loop. So if we want, we can go ahead and come up to face. I'm going to deselect this, and I'm going to select both of these faces, and I'm going to press delete, or rather backspace, which will delete the 2 faces. Now we've got an open box, and what I want to do now is I'm going to go to edge, I'm going to select these 2 edges, and I'm going to come up here to the bridge tool. Now these little boxes on the side are all your option boxes. I'm going to click on the box for bridge, and this gives me all the options for this bridge. Now I don't want 5 divisions. I'm going to bring this down to 1. We're going to see what that does. Now when I press bridge, now you can see that what has happened is it has created a connection between the 2 lines with 1 division, which is actually not what I wanted. So I'm going to come back up here, and I'm going to go and drop it down to 0 divisions. And now I'm going to apply that, and that is what it was I was wanting. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm now going to do another way to do that. I'm going to select that edge, and I'm going to come over here and press extrude. Now I'm going to bring this out, and as you can see, these edges are not actually touching each other right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get off that move tool. I'm going to have, I still have this selected. I'm going to select the other, shift select the other one, and with those two connected, I'm going to come down to the not merge tool. Which one of these is it again? Hold on. Well, okay, well, I'll come back to that later. We'll go ahead and show another version. I'm going to go ahead and select these two vertices. With that, I can merge those two vertices together, and now they are both one. So I'm going to merge those two. Now we've got that completely connected. Whoops, and now I see, so we're going to go back here. So I'm going to choose this bottom one so we can see a little bit easier. I'm going to extrude that again, bring this out, and I'm going to get this a little bit closer. And now I'm going to shift select and come to the merge edge tool. And well, I'm going to hold off from that real quick. Okay, sorry. So the merge edge tool, we can click on that. And I'm sorry, you know what? It's not important, because really the first way I showed it to you is the best way to do it, with the bridge or just connecting the vertices. So just to reiterate that, I'm going to go ahead and come over here to select the edge, and we're just going to press bridge, and we're going to bridge those two together. So now we've got everything together. But just to be safe, because Maya likes to be a pain sometimes, we're going to select all of our vertices here, and we're just going to press merge. There's a certain amount of discrepancy to it. You can't merge vertices that are very far apart, but they're very close together. Maya will intuitively figure out what it is that you want, and if you really want to change it, you can come to the option box here, change that threshold. As you can see, I've only got it set to 0.01, but if you wanted to, you could have it set way up high, and then you'd pretty much merge everything together. But we don't really want to do that. So let's go ahead and insert another edge loop right there. And now let's say we want to offset that edge loop. Now we can create multiple edge loops based off of this first edge by holding it and going up and down. And then conversely, we can also come over here. I'm going to double click on that line, and now I've got the whole thing selected. I'm going to go down to the slide edge tool, and utilizing the middle mouse button, you can then slide that back and forth however you'd like. And really you're going to want to use your insert edge loop tool quite frequently, because let's go ahead and smooth preview. As you can see, this is a very well-rounded object. This is what you're going to end up rendering out. But we don't really want that. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to tell it to have this edge loop. And so now when we do the smooth preview, it knows to keep a much sharper image there, a much sharper edge. So conversely, I can come over here and bring this up, and you can see how that changes already, how drastic that is. And oftentimes you're going to want to add these lines when you are trying to create your hard edges. And bevel will essentially do the same thing as an insert edge loop, but it's a little bit more, well, it'll let you, it's more mathematical. It'll let you tell exactly how far away you want something, but I personally like to visualize how it is. I'm not that much of a mathematical person. Yeah, so let's say we've got that, and let's say we want to give it a little triangle on top, or well, who knows why. We're going to come up here and we're going to go to, let's create a pyramid. I'm going to just go ahead and drag that there. And again, you can click on the option box to create what type of pyramid, but I'm fine with this. And we're going to set this on top. And now we've got two objects here. If we want, we can shift select both objects when we're in object mode. Come up here to mesh, and we can combine them into one object. Now this is not always going to be something you're going to want to do immediately, but later on you may want to combine multiple objects into one solid prop. It definitely has its uses. And well, that is an ugly smooth preview. So let's go ahead and real quick give it a few edge loops just to maintain its shape. But of course you can't do this right now because it doesn't, with there being a center point, as I said before, you want to avoid triangles, and this is just a three-sided triangle. So we're going to come up here to the where is it? Split mesh. I have not been modeling in 2014 much, so a few of the tools have been moved around a little bit. Let me find it. I believe this might be it. No. Well, here's another interesting one. The cut faces tool. Where is it? Okay, well, this is a pretty basic overview of the tools you're going to be using when you're modeling. Really utilizing your face, or choosing between edge, vertex, and face, and using extrude, remove, rotate, and your scale tool. You're going to be able to do pretty much anything, especially when you also couple it with your insert edge loop tool. So sorry for a few of the problems with some of the tools I was not able to show you, but really this is all you need to know to get started, and I will be doing another tutorial actually showing you how to do an actual object coming up soon. So please subscribe. If you have any questions, please let me know. Just email me or ask them in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them. Alright, thanks.